Do I look crooked because my camera's falling off? The Facebook Live takes a moment to start. So let's just all breathe together and affirm what it is that we're creating here. All right, we are live. Greetings, power people. We are gathering here today out in cyberspace and in the quantum field. I am Piazza, and I am introducing you to a group and a gathering of modern day mystics who are dedicated to sharing the medicine that we need as we currently experience the birth pains to this great awakening. And I am so glad that you could make it here today because we couldn't do it without you. We need each and everybody. So this is a magical full moon eclipse today. And this event is a living prayer. That is the intention. This event is a living prayer woven with song, vibration, poetry, and wisdom. And our intention is to create unity, cultivate love, and to raise consciousness within the collective field. And that is where we all are. So let's create that together. And so this event, this ceremony, this prayer is for the highest good and for the benefit of all. And we are going to start with Amanda Rose, and I'm going to do a little intro here. Amanda has been a liberty activist since 2012. She is the wife of Larkin Rose, mother, public speaker, voice artist, writer, poet, nature lover, and co-creator of Candles in the Dark. She's coming to us from the United States right now, and she will open this circle with the song I Shall Be Free by Kid Yond. And right after that, we're going to have psychic crystal reader and spiritual advisor Satyam Vinaya sharing a few moments of centering through a breath meditation, and then we'll move into the spoken word. And each time that I introduce a poet, they're going to come on and they're going to share their wisdom and their words and vibration. And then we'll take a moment to just really absorb their message, their vibration, the frequency that they are bringing, the medicine frequency that they are sharing with us. So let's get started. And Amanda, would you please start? And then we'll go right into the Vinaya. So Amanda, you can unmute yourself.
One day I went walking down a lonesome road, and I came upon a stranger in some funky clothes. He said he was a soldier. I said, "Where's your gun?" He said, "I don't got no weapon, and I don't need one. I don't need no weapon, 'cause I don't fight no war." I said, "Well then, Mr. Soldier, what you fighting for?" Well, he didn't say nothing. He just smiled at me. And then I heard him whisper, "You shall be free." Mm-hmm. 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 Oh. Oh. Well, excuse me, mister. Are you saying I ain't free? Well, I don't see no shackles or no chains on me. He said we're chained to our hatred and shackled by greed, too blind to see the wonder and the mystery. We got to love one another and give our love so strong. Love your brother, man, even when he treats you wrong. When you love without limits, unconditionally. When you love without fear, then you shall be free. Mm-hmm. 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 So I pried my heart open as wide as the sea, and the strangest sensation came over me. I could see the clouds dancing, felt the raindrops sting. I could hear the tiny beating of a butterfly wing. And as I sat in the middle, felt this love unfold, a love too big for this body to hold. That day I became a warrior with no enemy. Now I am that funky soldier and I shall be free. Mm-hmm. 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 Oh, oh, oh. Now I ain't afraid of living, and I ain't scared to die, 'cause I feel this vibration that I can't deny. I can feel it singing through me like a symphony, and it tastes so sweet like destiny. It's in everything I touch, everything that I say. It's in every single fiber of my body. Every star, every creature, every leaf on every tree is a lesson and a blessing, and we shall be free. Thank you.
Let's all close our eyes and just become aware and conscious of our breath, how it goes in and out. No focus, just awareness. Put one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart, and with the next in-breath, expand. Just awareness of the breath. And with the next in-breath, bring all the suffering and pain of the world into your heart, and let the fire of your heart transform it into blessings and love. And with the out-breath, spread it around. Send it to all. One more time. All the suffering and pain. The fire of your heart transforming it. Thank you.
Thank you. It is my deep honor to introduce Kamau Abayomi. Kamau is a multidisciplinary. Kamau is a multidisciplinary artistic mystic. He is a teacher of White Tiger Qigong and the founder of Black Divinity Meditation Day. He's coming to us from Bali, and it is an incredible honor. Please come on and unmute yourself and share your wisdom.
Peace and blessings, y'all. Thank you for the invite. I'm just going to share a couple of pieces and speak a little bit about them afterwards. Let's get liberation from the hands of the Masons. The plans that we face and make the earth into a planet plantation. I stand in amazement, wondering, will humanity wake up? Get its shit together before the land starts to shake up, earthquake, what, break up, politicians corrupt, trying to cling to a system that was bound to self-destruct. Many holler revolution, but who down to back it up? The government officials, they call it a bluff. Now what we gonna do? See, they own you and me, claiming all I see, turning citizens to cattle with all these conspiracies. I hear the tales rattle with the sounds of impurity now. Echoes of an Adolf can be heard in this century. Will history repeat itself? Health deleted by missiles, or with the whole planet blow the whistles? Because the people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. It sounds good to say, but see, we got to achieve it. The point of no return is now here, best believe it. Who plotting on the right course of action if they read it. Indeed, it takes the holistic moves to be completed. The truest revolution has the soul deeply seated, and we need it in every sequence. Frequently come anew, be it and see the reaches. Far from plain view, we came through the gates with the traits to create schools. Anybody try to stop us, we must break them lame dudes. Them same dudes making new rules to enslave crews and use network news to spread their fascist views, but come on, he refused to accept it. Never walked the blocks all confused and dejected. See the propaganda, fuel the fear, bring the ruckus. Strings on the dummy, all these suckers as puppets. Oppression since day one, anytime we said fuck it, stop giving them my taxes. Look how they use our ducats. The bald eagle's hungry, its feathers better pluck it, because if it soars full speed, ain't no future for the seas. The prophecies of cheese, steady muted by thieves, please open up your ears and these words just take heed. Meditation plus observation equals intuitive movements. Know exactly what you're doing, exactly what you're saying, who you praying to in toil, who you praying to in this class. This is spiritual warfare. It's much, much bigger than all this mass. All right? So we are dealing with a time of transition. A transition from one stage of life, planetary life, galactic life, into another one. This is a time of transition where the old paradigm is still on its last leg and clamoring to stick around. And so we're seeing that shake-up, chaotic period. But within this chaos is the catalyst that's going to birth the new, right? You know about the phoenix. For the phoenix to come anew, it has to destroy itself and from the ashes be rebirthed. And so we see this process play out, not only on a collective level, but individually as well. So, before it can happen, before that new world can come into manifestation, that we all can feel, that we can see when we go to night. Some of us have really lucid dreams. Some of us actually travel through the time frame. So, and we see what's coming. Before it to come first, we all have to do that individual transformation and bring it in, that new world existing within ourselves first. We have that embodiment. And so I'm going to do one more piece and then speak a little bit about that one. And this one it's about death, because so much drama is about trying to preserve physical life as if this is the extent of our existence, and it's not. This has always been temporary. We have a much greater purpose, and there's a purpose of why we incarnated here, and there's a purpose when we go. So this piece is about that, and then I'll touch on a little bit afterwards before my time is up. Y'all good? My sound is okay? Y'all
Your
hear me
sound
cool?
is great. Your sound is beautiful. Thank you.
All right. If imitation is the highest form of flattery, then embodiment is the highest form of worship. My knees would whisper that to me when I was little before I went to bed, but I was more concerned if my soul would be taken if I died. But now I know I'm the soul controller. And I can pray in a club conversation or meditate in a dance hall while they must bow their heads and call on a dead man's name, and the game continues. The food on Spirit's menu is organic and astral. But most have forgotten the astral and say organic is too expensive, so their thoughts never stray from the safe way. And what they produce has been genetically altered to not have seeds, so there is no growth in thinking the safe way. Forever depending on what status quo say, the game continues. The more out the game I get, the more truth I step into. My body is the venue. My eyes throwing the party and the chakras are spinning. Look into my eyes and see them dancing. Remember the rhythm you heard before you had ears. Remember the movements you made before you had legs. Remember the place where thought and action carry the same definition, and the word age is non-existence. The place where you set the conditions and chose your mission and chose your region and chose your planet and chose your city and chose your parents and chose your gender and chose your sexuality and chose your ethnicity and chose to forget that you made all these choices. I told them I heard voices in my head and they called me a lunatic. Well, I'm more like a sonatic, you see. My favorite voice speaks during sunrise. Its audible silence is sultry and seduces my spirit to rise above the tides of my temple. I am Osiris. Isis is my lover. She rides me well. I'm just coming to a greater understanding of self, a greater understanding of experience, a greater understanding of freedom. Beyond bones and flesh, I no longer believe, have faith, guess. I stare down in my face. Yes, I know what exists after death. Now stand before pearly gates. As they open, some big booming Morgan Freeman type voice will be like, "Welcome, my child," right? And I'll just smile and respectfully decline. You see, my spirit is touched beyond heaven. There's a grander design. And that voice will be like, hell is the only other choice you have for yourself. But as I float up and away, I'll say heaven and hell only exist for those who can't perceive anything else. And a few spirits standing inside the gates begin to rise and follow me out of curiosity. And curiosity can never kill a cat who knows he cannot die. Just as conformity can't sit with those who see the lie. And a few spirits inside the gates begin to rise and follow me out of boredom. And we'll rise up and we'll rise up and we'll rise up and rise up. And all this is just a future deja vu. That moment begins with this one. A moment of rising up, but it's not rising up against anything but one's own expired thoughts, void to the relevance of a paradigm shift, a shift to the consciousness that recognizes we don't get free, we just be free. The greatest trick the devil pulled was convincing us someone else holds the key. As a woman knoweth, so she be, as a child showeth, so we'll see. Those infinite possibilities to explore. Those infinite possibilities to explore. Infinite possibilities to explore. So choose the magic door. Yeah, peace and blessings for that. Thank you for listening. And yeah, we are in those times, so it is very, very fundamental. It's very important that we all get in tune with our own inner process and our own relationship to transitioning from the physical body into the spirit body, and making that connection with our higher self, our soul, because this is what's going to allow us to properly navigate, these times in this transition, to be able to bring forth those codes that are going to birth the new world. We got to be in tune with every aspect of our body, every aspect of life, and that includes death, and understanding that everybody has their time and their duration and the reason for it. And it's all a catalyst for us to step deeper into our purpose, deeper into who we are, deeper into embodying the principles that will birth the new world. All right? So with that, I'll say peace and blessings. And thank you all for listening. And more power to you, more expansion to you. Let's bring it into the world. Peace.
Breathing all of that wisdom in take a moment of silence. Now I'd like to introduce Deus. Deus, could you unmute yourself, please, after this intro? Deus is a spoken word artist who weaves profound spiritual truths, cutting to the heart of global issues with his deeply inspired artistic flourish. And he's coming to us here from Canada at this time. Deus, can we hear your words?
Hello, thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be here with all of you beautiful people. This piece is called Divinity Flows. You know, sometimes I can feel divinity flowing through me in these quiet moments. Simplicity seeping through the cells of my being, whispering words I can feel, colors I can taste, blessings that are just and only for me. It's a deep communion with a force unseen. Gentle strokes, kissing toes, caressing the body floor with tenderness unfathomable. These small moments of awareness blast open the doors of my boredom and restlessness, flowing, growing, showing me the reality of transforming, ever-present, unfolding, the art and practice of being, holding, cradling this human experience of grown-up children, mixing all together in society's blender, desperately keeping it together for the sake of sanity's register, becoming well-adjusted to a profoundly sick societal gravitational spiral seeking center. Gurus, mentors, lovers, warriors, suit and tie, fairy tale sons and daughters, playing hide and seek, count to 10, follow orders, go to bed, repeat. Weaving the same acceptance-seeking thread again and again and again, endlessly repairing this more than well-worn tread. Wake up! Feel the warmth of your bed is more than just a springboard for unenlightenment. Lighten up life's firmament. Traverse that chasm with daredevil attempt number 108. Laser light field portal across heaven's gate through scattered dark nights of the soul, that transmuting alchemical state, leading you safely to the shores of fulfillment, but masquerading as the loneliest lifeboat you could ever know. Realize that you are not alone. I can feel you here, now, and forevermore. My precious one ring stealing me away from Mordor, making me visible finally, reflecting my image reflected through you, invisible vision piercing through this illusory curtain. Hallelujah for certain, round of applause, standing ovation, and so begins Act 2. It's me and you on stage waiting for our cue to bust on through and through and through, descending into the madness of sustained vulnerability. In a world superimposed with the dog-eat-dog image of hostility. Bell rings, round 3, and suddenly the need for authority and luxury takes priority over compassion and generosity, but not for you and not for me. We've seen greed, and that is ugly, and I'm through trying to pretend that I'm too cool to care about you. You know, they say that life is a school. And in a way, I guess that's true, because my school years were pretty damn cruel, preparing me for separation and isolation, regurgitating carefully selected information, predetermined to encourage competition and ego inflation. Thankfully, though, evoking an irrevocable longing for some long-lost sense of connection. Everything is a reflection. And school, my friends, is still in session. Today's lesson, I love you. I love you. And with radical tenderness, I will fan the flames of your healing wounds. Let's incinerate those lingering scabs and pains until only a smoldering phoenix of purity remains, rising up from the ashes, reborn, victorious over society's debilitating division games. We will be one once more, my friends. Together we can ascend this spiral of enlightenment by planting our feet firmly on this electrically numb cement. Brick and mortar, hear me and lament. Your power to control our lives will soon be non-existent. I exist to enlist the masses under the banner of the Tao, never giving up, no way, no how, but in a way giving away everything. All the best in me every single day, wandering but never losing my way, holding on to hope, and offering it back as inspiration and trust in those who need it most. Lifting random acts of kindness up as a toast to this outdated paradigm's gluttonous ghost. Death and rebirth is a way of being. And my God, is it unspeakably relieving to cast off the fearful filterings of emotions and feelings and to see deeply into another's eyes and to be seen in kind as a human being with an open heart, a purified mind, and tender dreams of a better way of mutually supportive existing. Because you see, you are divinity, with feelings to be felt, with purpose to be seen, and with words to be heard. And my dear, dear friends, life is listening. Thank you.
Breathing in these powerful vibrations. Oh, Shanti, Christina, would you please unmute yourself and come share your words of wisdom, sister?
Dearest Creator, the most peaceful of demonstrators, living and breathing within and beyond, I bow to the teacher within. I bow to the infinite preacher. I am a believer that we seekers and healers all exist as one soul to promote the so-called anecdote that we can all stay afloat side by side, that togetherness can be magnified and we can collectively override the illusion of this great divide. Unity need not be far-reached. It is my belief that the seed has been planted, that our collective wish has been granted, that we are not stranded, and our demand for expansion is far from abandoned. The need for hope can be invoked. We don't need a microscope to see it. We just have to believe in it and feel that we are worthy of receiving it. I mean it when I say that we've achieved this, that anything we envision has arisen into the collective crystal prism. We are not imprisoned. We are our own magicians. Our tools are infinite, as are we. Mysterious intrinsically glistening, the collective is glistening. In letting go, immersed in our collective purge, there is much to learn. In creating space, the let go is replaced with an inner sweet embrace. We are the love we continue to seek. The weakness that they speak of is but a heatless flame, ingrained in a seedless estate. The they that I speak of is but an illusion that was created to separate. I instigate and mitigate that illusion is no more. No more, so we can pour and nourish the need to explore a world of restored galore, no more folklore. This is not wishful thinking, but a winning submission. Regardless of your conditions, addictions, afflictions, religions, your dispositions, I see your soul. I see one beating organism. Egoism detects division through racism, extremism, optimism, and pessimism. Our collective soul's goal is glowing bright like hot and fiery coal, free of control and creating wholeness. It only becomes hopeless when we make it that way. This is foreplay for our universal rebirth day. These are doorways, not the freeway to doomsday. Thank you.
Receiving our sweet sisters share. Shanti, she practices prayer through cosmic spoken word and lives to be a clear channel for source energy, spreading peace like wildfire through being, speaking, creating, and breathing. Thank you, Shanti. My dear friend Shamadi, I invite you to come on as I introduce you here. Shamadi practices quantum shamanism, energy healing, and transformation of mind, body, and spirit. His mission is to co-create a platform to help restore awareness and harmony to all of life. His vessel, along with the poetry, is used as a vibration with the energetic field to channel source energy for healing on multiple levels. Please unmute yourself and bring that to us now, my friend.
We operate on linear time with not enough patience and space to reach the final frontier. Some say this is an organized system of density. The planet is I and I am it. Now, flat Earth or the circumference of a sphere, you as a human being is living a dream that is not beyond your imagination. So they abide by the law of free will and patiently wait for you to wake up from the nightmare. Or less a coma, I got something to say, pull up a chair. Patience pays the investor, so I am the magician who puts the coin in your ear. The Atman, or the true self, is headline news. It's unbiased media that will guide you back to the truth. The one mind of pure divinity using symbology to communicate you through synchronicity, if you are patient. If you are patient, patience pays, says the Egyptian yogi, while encouraging me to be more mindful of my heart's desires. The attachments to implanted ideas overload the senses. So entertainment before entertainment is how you prevent a Trump legacy from capitalizing off your fears, because patience pays them too, which means the programmer programs the viewer if no knowledge is there before the actual leap, which also becomes an agreement made by the self to experience whatever that is. So then the question becomes, are you a sheep or are you a wolf? Either way, a herd is much more difficult to follow trying to reach some sort of enlightenment. Simplified, it's easy to get stringed along in man's theory. Scientifically speaking, I'm sarcastic when I say that mainstream science proves man's giant leap in consciousness. What level of the ionosphere are we talking? Now, impatiently, the public has been waiting for a governmental stamp on exopolitics, proof of off-world intelligence separated from yourselves or ourselves, while we continue to separate ourselves. True progress is not made without patience. True progress is knowing that the system is about much more than governments who govern your way of thinking. Institutions and book smarts can get you but so far if the heart does not align with the stars. And I'm not talking stars and stripes. And I'm not talking stars who are obsessed with the limelight. The energy that harbors in the physical body is based off the productivity of the mind. I shall continue. I said the energy that harbors in the physical body is based off the productivity of the mind. Stability is in the galloping of a horse under all conditions because it's adaptable that way. And so are you. Liberation is a word translated into freedom. It's your birthright. Good food for thought, despite what they keep feeding you and feeding you and feeding you. There's growth in patience. Cycles of perspective. Time gives a butterfly its wings. New leaves to trees, and the abilities for humans to climb mountains after time spent crawling on their knees. So love is a cosmic force. It's forcing you to participate in it. Your happiness and your misery depends on the patience you acquire with the stillness you obtain from it. The latter being like Flash on a fast track to the absolute. So my advice to you is to be patient, have fun, but marvel in it. Patience pays.
Receiving and breathing. Shayna, aka Sister Stone, shares eco-sensual, soulful music, soul and hip hop, spreading messages of reverence and praise for our earth and honor of our individual and collective healing as a way to reconnect with ourselves and nature. Shayna, would you please unmute yourself? Sister Stone.
Thank you so much. Such an honor to be here. Okay, I'm going to open with a little water, taking bits and pieces of some of my songs and poetry over the years here. I watch you water in the way that you move, so pure, so clean. It's you, it's so true. Ooh, I come to you every day on my knees, praying to you, asking you to show me how to be a life giver, flow like your river. It's you who I owe my life to. Nothing in this world compares to your divinity, highest order of love, holy source of everything. I pray about the people who are thirsty, and rage about the people who are greedy. I pray about the people who are thirsty, and rage about the people who are greedy. Water is life. Whoa. Water is life. Water is life. Whoa. Water is life. Thank you. This next one is a little poem about fertility. Deep, deep down in the fertile darkness and the decomposing leaves and beliefs, in the compost where everything is dying. Everything that was in the breakdown, way down we go, the liminal space, and it becomes gold. black gold. Life is born from the dark, bloom and rise from the inside. Rich, alive, fertility. Have humility. The process will take time. Feed that soil to its prime. Put tobacco down. Plant a seed. Visualize your dreams. Make an offering. Seed germinating, life penetrating. Water it. Water it, give it what it needs. Life is born from the dark, bloom and rise from the inside. Watch it grow, see it bloom, wait till ripe and harvest the fruit. Thank you. These are shorter than everyone's, but I like it.
Thank you, Shayna. Thank you. Let's read that in.
I have a few more. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, thanks. There's a higher power and they hear sincerity. Speak your prayers, cry your tears, specificity. This road of life is rugged, it will push you to the test. It will bring you out, love you down to your essence. Get down on your knees, close to Mama Earth. Think about your loved ones, put your family first. It's all about relations and how we tend to them. Reciprocal relations, human and non-human kin. Always ask permission, only take what you need. It's time to flip the script of this capitalist greed. Pay her close attention, spread around the seeds, voices to the marginalized, empowerment to lead. Feed the holy with your tears, beautiful words and poetry. Listen and respect of all living beings. I came here to remind you, you are of the earth. The more we reconnect, the more we find our worth. Thanks. I have one more to share. This is for all of us to stand strong as resilient servers of humanity and of the earth. All my people of all walks of life, it's time to stand together on behalf of this life. Relate to each other, relate to this planet, fall in love with our home of which we inhabit. I pray for my relations, leading the way, everybody dedicated to this beautiful way. Thank you for your service and the part that you play. I'm constantly inspired by you each and every day. I'm in awe of your brilliance and your resilience. In these times that we face, we need courage and grace. I bow to your strength, love and devotion. I feel you, I see you. Let's keep this in motion. Thank you.
Receiving and breathing. Thank you. Thank you. Kiyoshi is coming to contribute to this living prayer. Kiyoshi is a transformational rap coach and vocalist that inspires people to live in their highest self-expression. He performs conscious hip hop all over the globe and brings healing to unite the masses. And I want to add there, he also teaches children rap, and it's a beautiful thing. Kiyoshi, are you on the line here? Can you unmute yourself?
Blessings, blessings.
Thank
Can y'all hear
you.
me?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna get right into it. Once upon a time, not long ago, there lived a tribe known as the Immortal Souls. Flying free from all parts of the globe, they lived a story yet to be told. They are the ones we've been waiting for, and they are we, and we are them, the ones we've been waiting for. Reflections of each other's perfection. We met in alternate lifetimes beyond skylines, the divine white light. This is my tribe, lost generation emerging from catacombs of consciousness across continents, found within emerald tablets, bringing balance to what was and what is. Messengers of the light. We are here, restoring balance. Trip by trip, we dip in subconscious realms, telling tales, Totec, Tibetan and Sanskrit mantras, feeding Halloween with peace fingers, wisdom keepers. We be sun gods and goddesses calling this heaven home. Sunrise, setting intentions in Costa Rican jungles, cut synchronistically, floating, swimbiotic, connected and unscathed. We be, and we are. Shamanic DJs massaging eardrums on dance floors, weaving psychedelic neon like grandma silk. My tribe, rocking organized pennants like African medallions in '89. Tasting time, we dance ecstatic, campfires and drum circles like hula hoops. Preston Lavender Modi. We are the ones we've been waiting for. And even in the midst of these times and tribulations, I'm gonna stay meditating, even though I'm sometimes get agitated and frustrated through what's happening in this freaking nation that was built upon hatred. I'm just freestyling from the mental because I am standing vulnerable, getting out my shell, because sometimes we gotta get up out of what's comfortable, stimulating the masses, taking each other to classes because we are each other's teachers. We are each other's healers. We all can begin to do what we see, because what's happening in the media is an example, a reflection of each other's perspectives. But we have to stay ascending like masters, whether we are singers or rappers, and stop trying to act, because this is the time right now to do it and let our voices become heard right now through these times. George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor's, I don't know what's happening, but we have to spread love to our neighbors and move up and slither around like alligators and crocodiles as I freestyle, because I have to let my voice be heard right now. We all need each other. Sisters and brothers, let us allow each other to discover our inner truths, because we can do this whether we feel ridiculed by other races or religions or creeds or cultures. We have to rise above like hawks or vultures and start to become like Malcolm X and Martin, and start walking, marching, fist up high in the air like a Black Panther as I spit songs and stanzas. Understand that I am the master, you are the master. We are who we are called to be. So we all have to live our own purpose and yearn as we're burning trees urgently. I'm hearing the ambulance with these Black dudes dying at emergency, but they're dying before we can even have the chance to hear them breathe. So let's breathe together. Let's stop trying to sever the ties and become alive and rise above the ties like oceans. I'm chilling next to the Pacific because I live near the ocean, but I'm stroking my own hopes and dreams as we go between the seams of what seems not apparent. We have to listen to our elders, our teachers, and our parents and become the parents of the youth, because there are so many youth that are fatherless, but I got the gift and you got the gift, and we can all just live and stop trying to oppress and start to forgive. These are my thoughts. These are my reflections. I did not even expect this to happen, but I guess it was meant to happen. Me freestyling right now so we can stand in reverence and feel the essence of each other. So, the first minute of that was written. The rest of that was freestyle. It was supposed to happen like that. That's never happened. I performed that song millions of times, but things happen for a reason. All right. This next joint right here, I wrote this 4 days ago. And so it's super fresh, not rehearsed too much. But anyway, here goes. This ain't nothing new. All this fucked up news. Watching brothers with the same complexion as me getting hung from a noose. In the public eye, intensifying trauma. Heart seeing tough brothers cry and terrified mamas. Imagine living in the world with systemic oppression, trying to see your life complete like the end of a sentence. Imagine being psychologically programmed and told you were 3/5 human, not even a whole man. For example, take the word minority, go stand in my shoes. I tell you to throw that shit away so fast, like old trash. We let these damn words cast spells. Bodies laying on the curb, they for sure catch hell. Corner store to the church, while you disturb that mail. Crooked pigs on the search, yeah, we all heard that tale. Black Lives Matter hijacked by corporate entities, malicious enemies, false flag protesters vandalizing everything. The world's a stage full of actors watching Minneapolis burning in flames like some matches. Listen, they turning me to Malcolm X meets Professor X, American History X, but I'm the master like Funk Flex. I am subject to flip tables over like Jesus. Is this all a planned attack that George Soros is leading? Spiritual warfare. Turn off the news to reflect. Why they shooting our black dudes? Bullet wounds to the chest. I refuse to lose my cool, so I'll shoot for success. See, the media is a tool. They strategically move like it's chess. Since Columbus to the natives, we succumb to all this hatred. The melanated are tired of you racists like me, Django. Study the Olmecs and hieroglyphs in Americas. You will see the colonizers are the real terrorists. Indigenous wisdom I exhale because I can breathe. I said I can breathe. Mindful of my words because we manifest things into existence. Don't give in to the games. Turn off the tell-lie visions. This ain't nothing new. They've been doing this shit for centuries. Problem solved, cause solution is the recipe. Yeah, this is nothing new. They try to distract and divide. Study history, how they program blacks into whites. This ain't nothing new. We done seen it before. Open up your eyes, don't let them deceive you in war. Yo, this ain't nothing new. This ain't nothing new. Yeah, listen, this ain't nothing new, but in a sense, it really is. I find it challenging during these times to stay focused and grounded when I see my own friends, grown black men crying. My homie even had to tell his daughter the other day about this fucked up world he was about to raise her in. A hard discussion. Emotions feeling broken like all these cars busted, emotional scars, why these sketchy looters in the dark are running to start something so we can be blamed. I'm tired of a media manipulation, psychological games. See, I am you and you are me. Any of us could have been George or Ahmed or Marie. This happens every single day. So don't fall for the okie doke. They just choose which hot stories to highlight to control the folk. I don't want to get addicted to that victimization, blaming this and that. You don't really want to come back with the big bat, breaking windows of these small businesses till they crash. Fuck that. We come in peace. We just want to be free. We don't want nobody else. We don't want to see nobody else dying in these streets. Yo, this ain't nothing new. They've been doing this shit for centuries. Problem called solution is the recipe. Yo, this ain't nothing new. They try to distract and divide. Study history, how they program blacks into whites. This ain't nothing new, y'all. We done seen it before. Open up your eyes. Don't let them deceive you so we can go to war with each other. But stand tall forever, uniting our fellow sisters and brothers, because this ain't nothing. Thank you, thank you.
Deep gratitude, Kyoshi. Thank you. The next participant to share in this living prayer is Erica Harris. She is a biophiliac, a lover of life. She believes we come from love and that life is a harsh and beautiful return journey back to love. You can find her online at empathicwriter.com. Erica is coming to us from Belize. Would you please unmute yourself, Erica? Welcome.
Thank you, everyone, for the soul food. I had no idea breakfast would be served like this. And thank you for the chance to participate in this alchemy, living alchemy. So this is new and not committed to memory, but it is from the heart for sure. Can spoken word help with the absurd breaches of trust we are living through? Can the sound of a voice help clarify choice between fake, false, manipulated, and true? We are gathered to activate light codes, But how do we avoid all the fight codes? Staged bricks left by loads, left by the loads, with the hope that we self-implode on organized hate funded by Soros, evil confusion meant to divide us. Ugly as graffiti tags betraying solidarity. Keep your paint, dear, till at least you learn some artistry. Do Black Lives Matter enough to shatter the illusion of help from radical friends who really mean to do the whole world in? Language itself has been weaponized into two little paths, too tiny to talk on, let alone walk on. Society is resembling an autoimmune disease flipped inside out, fighting our very own self. Are we going for freedom or Gotham? The current events are crazy, even by Joker standards. Police brutality, as we all have seen in shameless operation, is a manicure and a massage compared to the new world disorder. Whatever your issue may be with me, whatever my issue may be with you, it is a lover's spat compared to the unfolding plans of our common enemy, which is an encroaching singular government that has already shown its style and method, total maniacal control by threat of punishment. Black against white, blue against red, liberal against conservative, poor against rich, socialist against capitalist. Those narratives are all to diffuse and scatter our very precious focus. We are each invited to come to terms with the truth about this reality. It is ghastly, and the faint of heart and mind will struggle with it. The decent will struggle with it. But you wouldn't have this chance to face it if you couldn't. If you like, rub your hands together until they generate heat, and then place those hot hands over your eyes and breathe in discernment for the ability to see beneath all of the strategies, agendas, plans, agencies, laws, etc., intending to do you harm. You are not naive. You are powerful and capable of beholding truth, even when difficult. Breathe in depolarization for the ability to see between the differences between you and others not like you. Depolarization is necessary not to virtue signal, but to successfully resist enslavement together. The stakes are that high. But you were made for this, or you wouldn't be here now. I was made for this, or I wouldn't be here now. Figure out why you would pick this ridiculous time to be embodied, and then get to it. Peace above, peace below, peace within.
Thank you. Mason Lucas, my friend, is a master musician, composer, and lyricist. He has been elevating hearts and minds with his musical medicine on his tours and performances in Asia and the Americas since 1989. Are you here with me, my friend?
Yes. Hello. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one who have to refer to my notes here. I'm very impressed by everyone who has their work memorized, but I found myself doing my homework at the last minute, and yet the material is readily available. And I feel so honored to express and share from my heart today. And the first piece I'd like to share two, and the first one is called I Are We Am I. On this planet here, we're living as continuous soul. And our plan is to deliver this particular flow. We might be perpendicular to most because there are minds to blow from here to every continent. But here we go. I'm feeling rather confident in letting you know that I anticipate assistance from a distant tableau, because positioned below my little system control are the mysteries of history in purple and gold, decked out to the 9s, to the 10s, to the 4. We're folding space-time backwards. I'm crying and laughing some more. And that's what rapping is for, if you're tapping the floor. So nod your head to every syllable spent since you were born. Let's let the dinosaurs fight over who's right and who's wrong, because the kids are all right when they're igniting their song. It's a demonstration of the present, so turn the relevance on, while the television only serves to break up the throng of the positive prerogative. So turning it off is the smartest thing to do as we're maneuvering softly through a world of sharp objects, stopping to gawk at the beauty that resides in the furious talk about parameters for amateurs where the animals walk. And I'm strolling through the suburbs with my bubbling thoughts. I'm stalking darkness with a metaphor so cleverly wrought, and being present to duality is pleasantly fraught with a plethora of challenges. It definitely ought to be the focus of attention, like a seminal knot that we unravel as we travel through the astral, a lot as an astronaut from Camelot who samples the plot and who's jamming on guitars, though the handle is hot, with the relevance of relevance who trample the spot. I'm sipping water from the clouds, if they're ample or not. I live in gratitude, and I love like a juggernaut. Jai Bhagwan Jagannatha. There's a very small quote I'd like to share before I do my second piece, and it's from Frank Herbert, the ecologist and science fiction radical. He says, only those who have the power to destroy something are the ones who really own it. And if we remember this, that whatever we can destroy, we can recreate in whatever image we choose. The second piece doesn't have a title yet, but it goes like this. Our contemplation will inoculate our occupations. We rock the nation with provocative indoctrination. The stock I'm taking's worth more than what the doctor's making, but my calculation's aiming at the full emancipation. The human race has got no need to face annihilation. I'm feeling optimistic as I write the proclamation. No complication, I'm just starting up the conversation. It's my prerogative based upon my observation. And social justice is a universal confirmation, generating light for human rights amid the confrontation. And I'm just talking about the thoughts I've had at this location. Information hits the face of avatars and incarnations. I think I'm making the soliloquy sophistication rhyme with a design that will align with the anticipation. That what I'm saying could be misconstrued as provocation, but time and space be blending perfectly with syncopation. I feel the same about linguistics and pronunciation, and renunciation of the truncheon and the punctuation. My function may be manifested by the puns I'm making, but understood by all the good among my generation. And the convocation of the wisest of the congregation starts with sharing all the knowledge of the computations. A compilation of the wildest set of my vocation, and a nomination for the advocates of moderation. But I'm not saying the survival of a modern nation depends entirely on structures and regulations. What's more important still is how they treat the population. the greatest pleasure is a measure of improvisation. So keep it flexible with festivals and salutations to all the races from beyond the world's imagination. I'm glad we're facing this just in time for celebration, to find our place among the powers of the constellations. Jai Sadnam. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, thank you. So I'm going to introduce myself now. For any of you out there who don't know me, I'm going to read what I wrote. My name is Piazza, and I'm an evolutionary activator. I'm dedicated to lifting the veil on the individual and collective sexual and social conditioning, which has kept humanity limited and depressed. I'm passionate about supporting those individuals who are ready to claim their personal sovereignty. And I have a poem that I want to share with you. Let's open our eyes and listen. It's time to remember this life is not a show. We didn't come here to pretend. So let's release all denial, because I know it's not mine. I'm here to be the real me. Here's the deal. It's not the things we own that define. Give it up before it's taken. Our world is splitting. Our earth, she's shaking. This paradigm's getting tossed like a flea, but it's only illusion lost. Our outward security and patterns deeply ingrained into the psyche. It's a shifting, it's a sifting through this muddled confusion. Thank God us, it's lifting. It can leave us raw memories coming back so they can be let go. Because it's not really true that what you don't know can't hurt you. It's frozen in the cells. It's the environment. It's the chemical climate that you're living in, aware of it or not. So take the old pain and hold it up to the light. Shine your love into the darkest of places. Make room for ease to fill the spaces. Shift happens, clean it up. Eliminate old fears so we can all come clear. I'll do my part, you do yours. It's a collective operation. It's the ultimate healing love vibration that we have all been waiting for. It's a portal, it's a door that we can flow through so we can be through with the shame and the blame, because that's an old game and it is not serving. And you know that deep within you are deserving of the total love and approval that only you can give to you. I'm not talking about loving your personality or your abilities, you see, because that's just the ego, you see. I'm talking about true responsibility. Your core, your center, the truth of who we are. Wake up and remember. Cycles gaining speed. There isn't time to waste. Feel your intuition. Trust yourself. Slow down and meditate. So learn to listen so you can integrate the cosmic frequencies coming in. Look around. Is this really where you want to be? And I'm not speaking about literally, although that can matter too. I'm talking about within your mind. So if you find that it's not exactly feeling right, it needs to change. Choose a positive affirmation and let go of all self-denigration. We need Jedi heroes. We need superstars. We need you to remember who you really are. To heal is to deal, to feel is to heal, to deal is to heal. I'm doing it too. And I can tell you that I know that it's not easy. And those layers are coming off. But once they're through, it's a relief. It's actually relaxing. It was juggling together all those false realities that was really so taxing, exhausting, body, mind, and soul. So the time is now. Let's take the jump together and remember we are whole. And now it is time for our beautiful sister Guadalupe to share some words of wisdom. Guadalupe is considered a national treasure by her native country of Costa Rica. She is a singer, songwriter, composer, and folk musician whose musical compositions holds the oral tradition of her birthplace. She's a deeply connected earth keeper who inspires others to respect and honor our Mother Earth. Welcome, Guadalupe. Thank you for being here. I don't hear you. There we go.
Now, okay. Yeah, sorry. Thank you very much. I was saying that I'm really honored to be here, to have a space to express my emotions, my feelings, and my thoughts all together in one. I want to begin just telling you a short story from the Colombian native people, the Kogis, that tell us that in the beginning there was the sea, and the sea was the mother, and thus she was a river, a gorge, a lagoon, and thus she was everywhere. She was not an animal, a vegetable, or a stone. She was just thought and memory and a spirit of what had to come. That's why the mother of the Kogis is called Gaushoban. That means the water that is everywhere. Well, if I focus on pain, I can see millennia and millennia of cycles that follow one after another. And in that whirlwind, human lives repeating cycles that seem not to end. I feel now the necessity to be like an amphibian, one foot in daily reality and one foot forward on the path of our self-knowledge, on the path of assuming good connections for personal well-being and for our closest community. In this interconnected world, we can achieve nothing if we do not accompany ourselves. If we are not able to walk together, even if each person takes a different route, farther, back, or forward, knows us accompanied make me feel stronger and happier. I have the privilege of living far from the city and next to the jungle. That means that apart from the morning mosquitoes, which are sometimes a bit foolish, life shows us generosity and abundance as the only rule to live in balance with this tropical environment where I am. And I can imagine that anywhere in the world, whether in the Sahara Desert or in the Unisalt Flat, the samples of life force and the elements that make up the planet give us lessons of generosity and abundance, which means that life is to be life's plenty in any direction on the planet where one is. And that despite the permanent change that life experiences at the level of its tangible or intangible matter. I hope that can you understand very well my English? Is that okay? Yeah, okay. This also means that if we learn to adapt to the processes of change, that is, if we learn to change constantly, then we could flow with the transformation. But we are living in times where the transformation begins to show their most complex side, and that of polarization. Because powerful forces and rhythm created and learning thought of us to polarize is just to polarize everything. Because of this, sometimes I feel that talking so much about the light, denying the shadow is another polarization, and it is not healthy either. So much flash of light can blind you, and so much shadow can leave you unacknowledged where you want to go. Observing the jungle, which is my closest neighbor and one of my oldest teachers, I learned to value the shadow, the darkness, that space under the canopy where darkness forces life, the decomposition of matter that will later be the fertilizers for the vines that in the middle of the darkness climb the trees to see the light, where the cicadas sing without stopping, generating a sound trap that helps the small plants to vibrate, to stretch, to continue climbing. So the jungle needs of that darkness and the composition, as well as the light that allows the plants to go up and give birth to green leaves, chlorophyll, the photosynthesis of the mystery. Today, more than ever, I feel me invited to understand that all this night that seems very long and very violent, very polarized and very decadent is the gestation of a nutritious mud so that the jungle continues to be abundant and generous to transform itself into something else. I pray every day because I don't see exactly the future, how it will come, and I'm not interested in. But really, I pray every day. I ask the energies that move me at all levels to help me to this permanent change in the midst of a world that speaks to us of stability or security as an immovable state of things and events. I pray that I can strengthen myself and put understanding in the events that surround us. I wish you a lot of love and a lot of strength as I wish that to me myself, to continue walking together, trying to develop tools to live in the middle of all these marvelous moments that we have, in the middle of all this terrible pain that we are suffering because of racism, sexism, poverty, all the economic institution taking advantage of the human lives. The only thing that I can see is just this challenge. This challenge, my plants in the forests, they have this challenge every day with the birds, with another kind of animals, with the strong sun, with the strong rain. Every day is a challenge. How I forgot that life is a challenge. How I forgot that the marvelous of the mystery was just the strength of the challenge, the movement always. So life is a song, is a dance. It's just to sing and dance, to move sounds, to move the matter around us. If we want to survive, we need just to get out of our comfort zone. We need to get out of there and go ahead, learning, listening, maybe losing a lot, our comfortable life, losing a lot, but gaining what we need to survive. Survive, not a subsistence, to survive, to live over plenty life. We came here to be happy and to live plenty. And we forgot that strength, that roots that we had. We came here to be happy. We came here to live in abundance. We came here for that, not for other things. We have been inventing many things, and not exactly we. There are, of course, strong strengths. You're taking advantage of everything, taking us. So don't give the energy to them. Don't feed that side of the world. Put another things in the balance, to bring something else, something more. So I really appreciate what the forest is teaching to me, because I couldn't see that before using my brain. My brain cannot understand many things that I can feel, many things that I can observe, and all my body is absorbing that. So thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you for being there. I have consciousness about all the pain that our friends in the war are suffering, because this war is in panic of poor people, is in panic with Black or Indian people, is in panic with everything that is different. And you know what? Exactly what is different is moving the world. So we need to be that molecule, you know, the molecule, the lost molecule in the chaos, moving everything, changing to go back. So have a good day, and thank you for inviting me here. And I'm so happy to listen people from another places sharing what they feel, they think, what they create. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. Thank you.
Gracias. Breathing and receiving these words from the earth through Guadalupe, this wisdom. Our event is coming to a close. I want to thank all of you, and not just yet. We're going to have, I'm going to introduce one last person, but just to let you know that we're going to complete this circle with a prayer led by Hasna. And I just want to thank you before I introduce you to her, for all of you coming to share. I feel incredibly and deeply honored, and I have this deep trust in the answer to the call of our hearts and our desire for oneness and union. So I want to thank you so much, all of you, for being here. I feel incredibly touched, as I'm sure that everyone who witnesses this in the 3D will be, as well as in the quantum field. I know that our words and our prayers are going out and affecting the whole. So thank you. So our sister Hasna Abdul Majid is going to share her prayer. She is one who may wear many number of hats as an Islamic spiritualist, a multidimensional nurturer, a massage therapist, a Quranic medicine woman, sound healer, painter, writer, or poetess. Most importantly, she is a soul whose fulfillment rests in deeply connecting in meaningful ways and building with other beautifully designed, divinely aligned souls. Hasna, can you please unmute yourself and share with us? And after Hasna shares, we're going to close this circuit. So thank you all. Hasna, are you here?
Greetings. How's the sound?
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you so much. Share with us, please, my beloved.
I've been tuning into everything and coming to the words that I'm saying now, that everything that was said so far was prayer. Prayer is the seeking of justice. It is the alignment with the divine. It is in what we hear, it is in what we do not hear. It is in all of the words that you said, all of the transmissions that every one of you has given, that all of you who are watching are supporting, and that is prayer. And woven into my prayer are two pieces that in and of themselves are a form of prayer for those who will resonate. Ya Rabbi, Ya Rabbi, Ya Rabbi, Ya Bismillah, 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 Ya Rab, Ya Rab. O you who are the source of all, before time and space ever came into existence, you were. O you who created the moon and the stars and all of the planets in orbit. O you who originated every dimension, the earthly, the astral. O you who know the secrets of the seen and the unseen. I want to thank you for all of your gifts, for all of your bounty. I want to thank you for the wombs that bore us, the wombs of our mothers, our grandmothers. I want to thank you for the womb of the Mother Earth, who has given us so much by your will, of sustenance, of nourishment, of peace. I ask that you purify all of us from any doubt, from any uncertainty, from any division, from any lower vibrations. I ask that you purify our vocabulary, the words that we use out loud and the words that we say within that are not bringing us to our highest awareness and that are of destruction as opposed to creation. I ask that you distance us from our ego, from arrogance, from shortcomings in the way that you distance the heaven and the earth, in the way that you distance the east from the west. May we be soldiers who are so powerful, we have no need for guns and our intentions are piercing like lasers. May we know true freedom. May we achieve all that we conceive. May we surrender and prostrate our third eye to the ground and allow ourselves the elevation that comes only from humility. May we gather together in a blissful eternity. Let us reconnect and always remember our worth. Let us remember that every one of us is being influenced upon, but we are also influencers. In a sense, every one of us is part of a flock, but we are also, each one of us, shepherds. Let us come into that awareness. May every being who is listening at this moment reclaim their power, amplify their power, let go of all limitations, allow in the divine nourishment. May we all be from the natural ones who speak beyond words, who resonate in the frequency of actualized verbs, breathing, being, feeling much in vibes inside through touch, beautified by heart light, a love for what is righteous. We will clean up our soul's detritus. May our soul windows absorb majestic sights, mountains, jungles, rivers, streams, desert valleys, full moon beams, under which we pray and clean the space where then we rest and dream. May we become much more than what we seem, beyond our flesh and clothing seams, beyond this world and all its schemes, machines. and machinations. May we trek the paths to elevation. May we create from imagination. Truly see, soul elated, nurtured into something sacred, filled with peace and satiated, yet open to discovery. May wilderness be our drug and also our recovery. May it flow through our ancestral blood, activating alchemy. May trust take place of self-protection, outward gaze turn to introspection, contemplation and connection, ego death and resurrection. May the wild, untamed beauty that most ignore, the rough terrain that some abhor, may we be here for that and more. Absorb, transmute, and exude from our every pore. May we adore. Embrace ourselves in all, our perfection merged with flaw. May we be real. May we be raw. May we be real. May we be raw. Allahu la ilaha illahu al-hayyul qayyum la ta'khudhuhu sinatun wa la nawm. من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. صدق الله العظيم. والحمد لله والحمد لله والحمد لله رب العالمين.